Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. Snapshot 19w06a has been released and there's supposed to be a new loading screen, so I thought that we would check that out together. Of course it always takes a second to load, so I'm going to skip ahead. And thanks to the magic of video editing, here is the new loading screen. That's a little bit anticlimactic if you ask me. So now we've got a slider and I guess the game isn't locked up. Yeah, the game's not locked up and it shows you its progress. Ooh, fancy! Wow, I like that. I was not expecting that. Okay, that was really cool. So this snapshot is mostly a bug fixes, tweaks and changes type of update. However, before you click off the video, the Bedrock edition of the game has some functionality with villages we are yet to see in the Java edition. So we may get an insight into how they're going to behave in the future. We'll get to that later in the video. First of all, we are going to go through the minor things on here. We've already seen the new splash screen and its improved startup time. They've updated the lightweight Java game library to 3.2.1. That probably just means minor performance increases here and there, and now particles are broken up into individual texture files rather than being in one file. This is something that's happened to all textures over time, so I've created two folders over here where I've gone inside of the jar file. This was what it was like last week. You used to have these two files. Particles, for example, had all of the particles inside one single image. This has now been broken down so that it is all separated, and all of them have names as well which correlate to the particle effects. And as you'll see, it says that it breaks resource packs right now, so if you've got one with custom particle effects, it's not going to work in this snapshot, but in the next couple we'll probably see a fix for that. It also says adjustments to the wandering trader, so let's jump into the game and find out what that's about. Well, first observation is that they now have AI, the ability to walk into one another and push each other off of this platform. You'll know what I'm talking about if you saw last week's video. They all currently have the same trades, and of the couple that I've spawned in fresh, I have seen no changes to the trades so far. I will continue looking though. Thanks to the Minecraft Reddit community, I now know what the secret is. Yep, I had a feeling that might happen. Hilarious. They have all drunk Invisibility Potions. Oh, and when you change it to daytime, they all drink buckets of milk. That's fantastic. Well, I wanted to do a little bit of an experiment, which is why I changed it back to daytime. Okay, so if you kill a witch when she's holding a potion, that potion can drop. So let's go and change the time and then quickly slay one of these. It didn't drop its potion. You might consider that a bug, but it's probably just something they haven't thought of. And the same doesn't go for the milk bucket. We actually got a milk bucket when we killed the trader. How strange. So they may be invisible, but the zombies can still see where they are. And they're going to attack them? Not sure what it's doing. Okay, it can attack them in the day, but not at night when they're invisible? Very strange. So something potentially very powerful for creative mode has been added into this game. It is a block state tag that can be applied to an item in your inventory, and this was shown off by one of the developers on Twitter. I'll show you how they did that in a moment, but if I middle click on a chest to select it and place it down, we create a new chest. But if I control middle click and then place it down, it will copy the contents across because it's saved that to a tag right here. As you can see, there is MBT data. These ones have MBT data as well. Unfortunately, the middle click function isn't working. You have to do this using commands, but essentially what you could do is copy a rail in a particular state. So we have one here with a tag applied to it, and when I place it, it then puts it down in this position every time. If I put something next to it, of course, it updates it and causes some funkiness, but it's an interesting idea. It can be applied to other blocks as well. Now this one has a tag for being waterlogged, but as you can see it doesn't waterlog, and the tag that it does has says it's a top side slab, not a bottom side slab. So I tried to do this with many blocks and most of them just ignored all the properties, but occasionally there are ones that are compatible, like the direction of repeaters and comparators can be saved. Unfortunately, you can't put it in the different modes and then place it down like that. But with the repeater, again, it will be placed in a direction every single time, the same one, regardless of what way you place it. But look, the delay is saved, so it's very finicky. I tried things like campfires, pistons, daylight detectors, so you could place them in inverted mode, but it didn't work. So it could be that this is just a very rudimentary early form of some new feature that's come into creative mode. And how rude of me, I forgot to show the command. So here it is, we give ourselves a rail, it has a block state tag, and then inside of that you put whatever the necessary information is. If you press F3 when you're looking at a block and you look to the right of the screen, you can actually see those tags. So the one that we added was shape. With the comparator there are several different types, and if I just flick through here you can see some of the different ones that I tried, some with some success and some without. Right, we will move on to the villagers in the Bedrock edition of the game, but first of all, bug fixes. I went through the list and there was only one that really felt like it was worth mentioning. If you've encountered a baby panda and you've seen them sneeze, they have a very small chance to drop some slime balls, and those slime balls you wouldn't have been able to pick up. Strange little bug, but you know, it's been fixed. Oh, there is actually one other bug that's kind of a big deal that it's been removed, because it's been in the game for ages, and on the screen I'm probably going to put an example of it in action. But essentially you could drop a gravity block that could be sand or concrete powder or an anvil, and it would float if it lands on top of a fence. Well, now you can see that it actually jumps to the block. That has been removed. You could use this to essentially make what appear to be half slabs out of different coloured blocks, but it is going to be no more. So we are now in the Bedrock edition of the game, and we're going to check out some of the new functionality of the villagers. The first thing is that they are going to sleep in beds. So I'm going to change the time to night, and we need to find a building with a bed. We've got one, and we should see the villager go inside and sleep. Okay, a villager just wandered into the building, and check that out. Sleeping on a bed, having a kip. Kept your hat on when you went to sleep, that's fine. There you go. The other change is to do with weather. So we're going to make it rain, and then what the villagers will do is seek out shelter, although the patch notes say they will stand in a doorway, and that's something that we will see from some of them. And of course we are in a village where it doesn't rain, and now we're in one where it does. This guy's gone straight inside. The nitwit is of course just standing on the roof. And there you go, we've got a villager standing in the doorway looking out. This is what it says they would do in the change logs. Okay, this next feature change is going to bring about a visual aspect to trading. So I found a farmer over here, and I've got some emeralds. So I'm going to hold this out, and the farmer is then going to stop wandering around or doing whatever it's doing, and it's going to show me what it will trade for those emeralds, which happens to be bread. So we'll go in here and we will trade that bread. That will unlock some new trades, and now when I hold the emeralds it might just show me that new trade. It tends to pick one or the other and sometimes change when you're holding the emeralds, because the next one is the pumpkin pie, and I have seen that on occasions. Anyway, I can also hold up different items like wheat, and then it will show me what it will trade for wheat. So it wants emeralds. As we see, that's the first trade. So if I held up potatoes or carrots, it would then show what it would trade in exchange. I think that's a really nice little detail. And now I've got two of them that want to trade. Fantastic. Here is another change that I can't quite make heads or tails of. We're going to summon in a villager and pay attention to when it's not a nitwit or it's not a farmer, although that one was a farmer and it's changed, right? And that one wasn't. I need to do this and focus on one at a time. Okay, so you got an eye patch on. Are you going to change profession? Maybe it would help if I just spawned in a whole bunch and we paid attention to what they do, because they change professions. Come on, do it on camera for me now. Aha, two of them just changed to a farmer. So I had a feeling it might depend on what type of village you're in. Sorry about that. But yes, they changed their profession. And look at this, they're all changing to farmers. It's like they got a shortage or something. We can see a better example of this strange behaviour from this video that Kenneth sent me on Twitter. So thank you, Kenneth, for sending this. I do appreciate it when all of you tweet me little things that you find, so I can help keep everyone informed as to what's happening in the game. This video is strange because there is a waterlogged bed that Kenneth suspects creates a village, because this villager stands on it and then it changes profession based on what block is put in front of it. So the lectern turns it into a librarian, and then when Kenneth puts down a grindstone, it changes its profession to the one with the eye patch. There it is. I love that skin. It looks really cool. So based on what block is around, the villager changes their profession, it would seem. Anyway, that's where we end this snapshot video in Bedrock edition of the game. You know how this Minecraft news stuff works. If you've enjoyed the video, then leave a like, and if you feel like checking out a new game, I've started a series of Factorio on my channel. It is ready for beginners to learn the game and play along and all that cool stuff. So if you like the sound of that, you can check it out. There'll be a link on the screen. This is obviously the end of the video, so thank you so much for watching, And make sure you subscribe to catch the next one next week, if there is a snapshot, of course. Anyway, ciao for now. Bye bye.